guys, welcome back to my channel, Joy Serendipity. If you are new here, you know what I do on this channel. But if sorry, I rephrased that. If you are new here, you don't know what I do on this channel. I talk about uncomfortable topics, like I'm kind of like your big sister, and help you grow into becoming your best self. All right. So click subscribe, share, whatever. Okay, but let's be honest. I need everyone to be honest for a second. How many of us have watched How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days and low-key took notes? Be serious. Because young me absolutely thought, oh, so this is what not to do. But also, it was kind of genius. The movie was chaotic, it was romantic, it's strategic, it's manipulative, it's funny. It's one of my favorite rom-com movies ever. And underneath all the comedy, it's actually about relationship games. So today I'm going to do something a little fun, and we're taking the original How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days playbook, and we're asking, would it still work today? Are we still playing games like this, or has modern day dating evolved? Sorry, traffic's busy. It's Super Bowl Sunday when I'm recording this. But yeah, so have the modern day dating evolved into something even more confusing? Because 2003 and 2026 dating, two completely different ecosystems. So again, if you're new here, click like, subscribe, share, and the alert button so you're here next time. And grab your tea, coffee, journals, because we're gonna Hey, what's up, you guys? Welcome to Joy Serendipity. If you're new here, definitely subscribe. You won't regret it. So we're gonna get into this because I'm excited. This is one of my favorite movies of all time. So the original challenge from the movie, we're gonna recap it. Quick recap in case someone has somehow never seen this movie. I don't want to ruin it for you, so I don't know what's going to come out my mouth, but disclaimer, just in case. Andie's assignment, because she was a writer like myself, for a column that she didn't even care about, but I digress. She was to do every stereotypical relationship mistake women supposedly make and drive a man away in 10 days. Ben's assignment, which was the love interest, make a woman fall in love with him in 10 days to win a campaign in an office, whatever. So the entire relationship is built on strategy. She's trying to repel, he's trying to charm, and what makes this iconic is that the mistakes she uses are exaggerated versions of real fears men had in early 2000s dating culture. And we're gonna break them down. So the tactics then, I think they're so hilarious. The love fern, when she bought that plant, and she's like, this represents our relationship. The sudden clinginess that she did, like when they first met, she was just like, oh, okay, But the next day she turned it up a notch and she was very clingy, which she brought a love fern and all of that. The weed language after one date is hilarious. I think that's so funny. Crying over nothing, invading boys' night, talking about marriage on date 2, emotional dependency. Those were some of the tactics she used to try to drive him crazy. The early 2000s dating fear was that women move too fast and they get too attached and women become crazy, which, come on now, anyone can do that. Anyone with anxious attachment style. Okay, I think that's kind of what Andie was supposed to represent, and then Ben was supposed to be kind of avoidant, I guess you can say. But that was the narrative. And the movie plays into it for comedy. But here's the thing. Those tactics were based on gender stereotypes that shift dating culture at the time. Men were socialized to be like to fear emotional intensity, even though deep down they liked it. And women were socialized to suppress their needs to avoid being too much. So Andie weaponizes the stereotype, but let's fast forward to today's modern dating. Now, the fear isn't clinginess. I guess you can say the fear is sort of kind of indifference. Like, we don't have people saying I love you on date 3 anymore. Like, do they even say I love you outwardly? I think they just assume that you're supposed to know that they love you. I don't know. So we don't have people saying I love you on date 3 anymore. We have, I'm not really looking for anything serious, or let's just see where this goes, or no labels, or I'm focused on my career right now. We all heard the chatter. The modern game isn't over pursuit, it's under investment. Instead of scaring someone with too much emotion, now people lose interest through emotional unavailability. Back then, the joke was being too attached. Now, the joke is nobody wants to attach at all. Which, come on now, like we're tired of it. Come on. It's a game of who can like someone the least. Which is, come on, we all want love. So let's talk about games then versus games now, and let's compare. So back then, you were called too much, and you would call them too much, text too much, show up uninvited, demand commitment. Well, you wouldn't really text because text was it popular in 2003? You get what I'm saying. Call too much, blah, blah, show up, demand commitment. Now, the game is everyone waits hours to text back on purpose and pretend that you're not interested and keep multiple options. Shout out to dating apps. And avoid defining the relationship, which is very annoying because we need a clear path of where it's going, but that's a part of the game. If you don't tell them where the relationship is going, they can't expect something serious from you. So, yeah. Sorry, I'm looking at my view. But yeah, the strategy sort of flipped. In the early 2000s, dating was about maintaining independence. Modern day dating today is about protecting vulnerability. People play it cool now, and it's not because they don't care per se, but because they don't want to be the one who cares more. I told you that's what the game is. Like, they can really care, they're just not going to like show you, because that means that they're being vulnerable, and that gives you the opportunity to like hurt them more. But that's where it gets deeper. And I've talked about this multiple times on my blog and on videos about attachment styles and the evolution of the game. If we're being real, the modern dating landscape rewards avoidant behavior. And I want to add that avoidant behavior, dealing with an avoidant is very painful. Like, it can hurt you because you're showing up for them, you're showing all this love, and they're avoiding you to protect themselves from love. Let's be honest. Like, yes, they may be protecting themselves from being hurt, but you're not taking the risk, so you're not putting enough effort into being loved or loving. I digress. So, yeah, dating apps create those endless options, like I've said in previous videos, and for some reason, ghosting has low consequences, even though everyone I've come across does not like when someone ghosts them, but yet they have no problem in ghosting others. What? Where's the standard for yourself? And like, also, situations require minimal emotional risk, even though deep down those people in the situationship want something serious, but they don't want to tell them that they want something serious because they don't want to come off as needy, clingy, or wanting a serious relationship because they fear getting hurt or getting let down, or the feelings not being reciprocated. It's a long game and it's irritating. And that means anxious attachment spirals harder. Like, you're anxious. You're very anxious. So, rewind back to the movie. In How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days, Andie performs anxious attachment as a tactic. Today, people experience it for real. Ben, on the other hand, which was the love interest, the guy that was trying to get the office desk at his company, he was trying to climb the corporate ladder. Ben, on the other hand, performs secure charm. He was consistent, confident, and direct. That energy, to this day, still wins. Consistency never goes out of style. I would say the only issue with what Ben did, per se, he was in the beginning faking pursuing Andie because he was just trying to win a bet. All in all, in my opinion, you can fake being in a relationship with someone just for the perks that you guys were getting. Someone is always going to fall. Either both of you fall or someone's always going to fall, and it's going to turn into a messy situation. So that's where you should watch the rest of the movie. What actually makes someone lose interest in reality is, I don't know, like, let's answer this question. What actually causes connection to unravel then versus now? It's not Andie's love ferns, definitely not. It's not texting too much. It's not being excited to get to know someone that you potentially could fall for. It's misalignment. It's always someone's ego. It's dishonesty. It's power imbalance. And in this movie, especially, the relationship almost fails not because Andie was too much, because Ben didn't mind that. He admitted it in one of the scenes that he was like, what happened to the hot blah blah blah. I'm not gonna give it away, but yeah, he kind of admired it. And so that's not what failed. She was not too much. It fails because both of them lied. They weren't direct. They weren't clear with intentions in the beginning. The foundation of that relationship, which I always talk about, any foundation should be built on a strong, whether it's a friendship or a strong, it was built off of manipulation, and that hasn't changed in today's dating. Modern dating still collapses under lack of clarity, fear of vulnerability, emotional inconsistency, and game playing instead of complete honesty with what you are trying to get out of this. The packaging is different, but the root issue of dating is still the same, which is why I don't understand why people are like, oh, dating was so much easier back then, blah, blah. The lies were still there. It was just not being recorded or shared on a platform. Would this challenge work today, though, in today's modern dating? Let me think. If someone were to try Andie's tactics, because, I think there are still people who do Ben's tactics, but if someone were to try Andie's tactics, a lot of men would run, some would stay, or some would post about it on TikTok. But here's the twist. In today's dating climate, being emotionally expressive isn't what scares people. Emotionally unpredictability does. It's not too much that pushes people away in reality, because a lot of people like that. There's a different name that's used for that today, but yeah. I would say it's instability without communication that will push people away. And modern women are no longer shrinking themselves to avoid being labeled. We're asking, do you have the capacity for depth? If not, then... And that's where the shift is in today's dating. Women are actually speaking up like, I want this, I deserve it, and if you can't give me that, then bye. So deep down, what this movie really teaches outside of entertaining, because that was the perks of 2000s movies. You learned something, but it was still entertaining, and I feel like we're missing that in a lot of movies today, but I digress. The movie really teaches us that understanding the chaos, the movie actually says that there's something sweet in what's going on. When both of them stop playing games which didn't happen until a little bit over halfway. Try not to give away what happens. They fall in love for real when the games stop. When Ben sees Andie authentically, and when Andie stops performing dysfunction, that's when the connection stabilizes and it becomes an evil territory. Wait, no, not evil, sorry. Balanced territory, equal, sorry. My mind's on so much right now. So yeah, the movie isn't about losing someone despite the title. It's about how ego and strategy block intimacy. And honestly, that message does apply in today's dating. You cannot build something real while trying to win. What's the prize? You hurt someone in the process of getting what you want? Temporary satisfaction? No. So this is my reflection as the modern girl of the modern dating world. I think what makes this movie timeless is that it captures a universal truth. People want to be chosen, but they don't want to feel trapped. And a lot of people are afraid to admit it out loud. They want connection, but they fear losing autonomy. The real evolution from then and now is we are more aware and more loud about what is going on in the dating world. We talk about boundaries, we talk about attachment styles and emotional availability. No one wants someone who's not emotionally available. You can't thrive with someone who isn't. And a lot of people struggle with vulnerability. It's so real. So maybe the real how to lose someone tactic in 2026 is this: pretend you don't care, avoid clarity, lead with ego, prioritize power over partnership. And the real how to build something strategy is be consistent and emotionally available, and overall be honest. Revolutionary, I know, but that's the key component to thriving in the dating world today. So I need to know, if How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days came out today, what would be the modern 10-day sabotage plan that you think would occur? Drop your ideas in the comments and tell me, are we playing fewer games now or just smarter ones? And if you love breaking down rom-coms with psychology and modern girl energy and things like that, subscribe, because this movie is forever iconic and I will defend it every time. I love you guys. I will see you in the next girl chat.